Hello everyone, welcome to our YouTube channel. Today in this video we will discuss about India's GDP forecast by top 10 different organizations. So let's start the video without being delay. World Bank. The World Bank has forecasted India's GDP growth for financial year 2023-24 to 6.3%. World Bank had earlier predicted India's GDP growth in last year December for financial year 2023-24 to be 6.6%. For the financial year 2022-23, India's GDP prediction by World Bank was 6.9%. International Monetary Fund (IMF). International Monetary Fund, or IMF, has released its World Economic Outlook report, in which it has forecasted India's GDP growth for financial year 2023-24 to 5.9%. Before this prediction, IMF had said that India's GDP will grow in 2023-24 to be 6.1%, but now it has been changed to 5.9%. Asian Development Bank (ADB). Asian Development Bank has recently released Asian Development Outlook report, and in this report it has forecasted India's GDP growth to 6.4% for financial year 2023-24 from its previous prediction of 7.2%. It had estimated India's GDP for financial year 2022-23 to 6.8%, which is also changed from 7%. Morgan Stanley. Morgan Stanley, which is one of the largest bank in the world, has released its report on India's GDP for financial year 2023-24 and it has forecasted to 6.2%. Reserve Bank of India, RBI. For the current financial year 2023-24, RBI has forecasted India's GDP growth to 6.5% from its earlier prediction of 6.4%. RBI had also estimated India's GDP growth of 7% for financial year 2022-23. Investment Information and Credit Rating Agency, ICRA. ICRA has forecasted India's GDP growth to 6% for financial year 2023-24. It had previously estimated India's GDP for 2022-23 to 6.9%. United Nations Conference on Trade and Development, UNCTAD. UN Conference on Trade and Development, UNCTAD, has forecasted India's GDP growth in 2023 to 6%, which was earlier estimated to be 6.6% in 2022. Credit Rating Information Services of India Limited, CRISIL. CRISIL has released its report and it has forecasted India's GDP growth to 6% for current financial year 2023-24. Earlier it had forecasted India's growth to 7%. Standard & Poor's, S&P. According to S&P Global Ratings, India's economic growth is projected to be at 6% in the financial year 2023-24. For financial year 2022-23 it had projected India's growth to be 7%. Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, OECD. According to OECD, India's GDP growth for current financial year 2023-24 to be 5.7%. It had forecasted earlier for financial year 2022-23 to 6.6%. So guys, these are the top 10 organizations which has forecasted India's GDP for financial year 2023-24. If you have liked this video, then do not forget to share this video with your friends and also subscribe this channel for latest updates. Thanks for watching.